Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the latest episode of B6 and Beyond. You are here with me and Cory to discuss what to expect at Villa Park this week as Aston Villa take on Lille in the Europa League. With a place in the quarter-finals, potentially against Roma, to be had. Cory, how are you?
I'm feeling great, Ben. How are you?
I'm not too bad, thank you. So before we do get into it, guys, I just want to remind you, we do have an ongoing giveaway for either match tickets or a shirt of your choice. All that you need to do to qualify, you smash that subscribe button, and we do give away that every 500 subs, and we are getting close to the next giveaway, so don't miss out on that. And while you're there, look, Villa needs some luck, so let's go for a big number on the video. Let's go for 20 likes, so smash that like button as well. So first thing for me is, look, performance against Manchester United, I think we're at the point now where it wasn't bad, it wasn't great, but ultimately there were signs that we are starting to slowly improve. I don't think people realise how big this game actually is, which sounds bizarre because it's a knockout game in Europe, but a win here, giving us that little bit of confidence heading into the game against West Ham, because let's face it, we've been shocking at Villa Park recently. Even the game against Brighton, we were shit. If we can get a result, and a decent result against Lille and take it into the weekend, I think it's huge for confidence levels.
Yeah, 100%. I think, obviously, if anybody's watched our sort of post-Man United game, I said about it's important going into this game against Lille, who, listen, they're not a bad side by any means, but we saw from that first leg about what they're about. They tried to get, obviously, a draw at home, and that's saying something. Like, if they're not confident enough that they can go and try and beat us at home, they're probably not confident enough that they can beat us at Villa Park without really going for it. So it's a game for us where I think there's going to be chances, and we just need a day where everything goes in, really. I know it's easier said than done, but if we can get... We've seen it in the past, the Ajax game where we won 4-0 at Villa Park after coming away from Ajax away at 0-0. We just need a game like that, really, where we go and get 2-3 goals, have the game done by the 70th minute, can relax a bit, bring on some of the sort of lesser experienced players, maybe people who aren't going to be playing against West Ham on the weekend, get some minutes in, and then obviously you go into that game against West Ham before the international break, full of confidence. Villa Park will be bouncing on Sunday for that game because of how we played on Thursday.
Yeah, realistically, look, we should be beating Lille. Like, I don't think particularly we got out of second gear away in France and we beat them 1-0. I thought it was a fairly comfortable win, not comprehensive. It probably would have been 2-0 at least if Ollie Watkins would have took his chance when he rounded the goalkeeper. But at Villa Park, I think, the atmosphere, the fans behind them, it'll be a special night at Villa Park, as European nights usually are, especially being a knockout game. I expect it to be quite lively at Villa. There might be a sense of nervousness, especially after our last knockout game at Villa Park being... Well, knockout game in the Europa League, should we say? No, Europa Conference League, sorry, being that one against Olympiacos. The last one against PSG in the Champions League was some night. But there's always that nervousness, isn't there, heading into a knockout game? I think there wasn't that as such with the PSG game, because there was a sense that we probably are going to go out, and it was more the hope of what could happen. Against Club Bruges, it was like, we should turn these over. But the last game that I can sense back to that kind of feels similar like to this, where there is a chance that we could still go out, but we should get through, is the Olympiacos game. The start to that game, everyone was so buzzing. The atmosphere was amazing at Villa Park. All the stuff in the stadium was really it was top. And then we just didn't deliver on the pitch, and that's the fear, isn't it? Really. But with obviously potential of Roma in the quarterfinals to come up, and you're getting closer to that day, that day and that final in Istanbul, we need a performance. It's as simple as that. So let's talk about team news. So I'm just going to briefly touch on Lille. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but obviously the one that it was a key one for them. But there was the potential of Andre being missing as he got injured in the first half against Villa. So I've just read that Andre could make the game, so that's one for them. As for the Villa, Matty Cash, I would like to think will be fit enough to start the game. Who do you want to see? Should we go through it person by person? So goalkeeper, I think we're both in agreement. Emi Martinez, yeah?
Yeah, it's got to be Martinez.
Matty Cash, if he's fit.
Yeah.
I think we have to go strong, but I think there will be a hint of rotation. I'd like to see Lindelof at right centre back. I want to see Konsa come out of the team, mate. To be honest with you, I think he's been terrible for the last few weeks. and I think he does need to have a rest. I would like to see, or maybe not a rest. He just needs a bit of a rocket up his arse. But I would like to see Lindelof come in. I'd be happy with Lindelof and Pau Torres.
I don't disagree with that. I think I'd like to see Lindelof come in, whether it's next to Konza or instead of Konza, obviously.
Who does he go at left back?
It has to be Maatsen for me. I just think
I think it should be Maatsen due to how shit Luka Dean has been recently. Whether it is a different question.
Yeah, I think the interesting one comes in that number 6 role really, because with Buendia now, I mean, we don't know the extent of his injury, but if Buendia is out for the rest of the season, which is something that has been reported...
I'm joking.
It's something that has been reported loosely, then obviously that means Barkley potentially comes back into the Europa League squad.
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure how that works. I don't know if that is after this game, isn't it? Let's just work on the premise that Ross Barkley won't be there. Maybe, but it could be McGinn, mate.
Could be. It's just,
I would imagine Onana and Douglas Luiz, McGinn off the right, Rodgers
in the middle,
and then Sancho off the left. Yeah, I think it will be that, and I think Tammy will start this game.
I don't know.
Well, I think every Villa fan is probably in the same thought process as yourself, really. The fact that Tammy doesn't get a look in and Ollie Watkins keeps starting games. I'm just thinking, surely at Villa Park, we're 1-0 up in the tie already. Unai's got to think about resting Ollie Watkins' legs with the weekend coming up. Yeah. Because if he's going to start him against West Ham, surely you start Tammy here, and if you need to bring Ollie Watkins on, you bring him on. That would be.
If there's a game we don't need people running into the channels, it's probably a game where we're 1-0 up going into it. We need someone who's going to finish it off, really, and hopefully Tammy can be that man.
So, what do you want to see from Villa?
I want to see confidence. I want to see a performance that we've not seen. I know it's easier said than done, but I think the last time I remember us actually playing well, like a really good game, was probably Newcastle away when we won 2-0. I think last week we didn't, like I say, against Lille last week, we didn't play poorly, but we didn't come out of second gear. If we come out of second gear, we cruise that and don't even have to worry about this leg now. But we've put ourselves in a situation where we're coming back to Villa Park, only having a 1-goal lead. I want to see confidence. I want to see us come out with a bit of energy. I want to see us come out the way Man United came out at Old Trafford that second half. Take it to them for the first 15 minutes or so. If we get a goal, great. If we don't, that's fine. Then you can sort of sit back and sort of... Because obviously you don't want to be going gung-ho for 45 minutes and giving away your 1-0 lead.
Who started at centre mid at Newcastle?
Yuri Tielemans.
I am a big believer that we will return back to where we was. Maybe not the same level because there's been a massive confidence hit for the rest of the squad when he gets back. And I think this next week is imperative for Villa, getting through this game, getting through the West Ham game, getting getting 2 wins, going into that international break. Yuri Tielemans will back after it, and Villa will start to tick again. That's the main thing for me. Cory, is there any other bits that you really want to tick on? I don't think this was ever going to be a long episode. We're just really touching on the what to expect, the team news, what we want to see. Villa fans, if you have made it to this point, make sure to drop a subscribe on the channel. And if there is anything that you would like for us to cover in these videos, obviously let us know and we can start to feature that into the episode. Yeah. All good.
Yeah, all good. I was going to say just a win, go into West Ham positive, get another win against West Ham, going into the international break, and go from there, lads.
Yeah. Final one for me and Cory then, as always, up the Villa.